Well, good Thursday afternoon. I'm Autumn.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello, what's going on?
We're switching things up, and let me get all this
Yeah.
shut off so we don't hear.
Yeah, get everything
Yeah,
situated.
there we go.
We have our hi Cheryl. Hello. How are you today? Thanks for joining us.
Oh, yeah, let me look at comments. here.
Yes, I've got Cheryl joining us right now. I haven't seen you in a while. What's going on?
I know. How is everything going? I know winter is winter, and we have to deal with it, right?
Yeah, this has been beautiful.
But then it got even more foggy, and then we've gotten blasts. I mean, I know what it's going to be, right? But I still don't like it. And I think I like it less and less as the time wears on at the end of
What do you mean you like it
winter
less
season.
and less? What do you like less and less?
Just the constant rain and snow. I guess it's probably the rain and snow.
Yeah.
And not seeing the sun. Like if we had a good maybe 36 hours of sun, I would feel maybe a little bit better about the rounds of rain and snow, but it just can't, decide what it wants to do.
Oh,
Like, if it's just going to stay cold and snow, just do that.
Oh, I've loved the last couple of days. Just a little bit of a warm up. I can see my grass a little bit. I can see my driveway. These are things that are small wins in my life. Which is sad now that I say it like that.
These are wins. It's called, I would say it's kind of like the adulting win, because I hate that the edge of the driveway, the apron of the driveway had the ice.
Yeah, that's where my sill is
and
little bit.
I couldn't get the ice off of it. And now the fact that it did warm up just a touch to get rid of it makes me happy.
Yeah, I took a metal shovel and just started hacking away at the end of my driveway when I finally got home last night, just because I wanted to try and get rid of it, just at least for the time being, because it feels like that is always the one spot where it gets going. But when I took my dog out, now there's a grass patch next to our house. There's some open grass, so this is nice. You can bring her out there and just kind of hey, muddy paws is a lot better than having to wait when she's in the snow and everything.
There are a couple of trees at the front of the house, and so there's less snow in those areas. So a little patch of grass ended up coming out.
What is this?
And Natalia had an ice chopper.
I didn't mean to cut you off. Anita, I had to buy what is an ice chopper?
I think it's like
Anita, can you let us know what an ice chopper is?
It's like a small shovel, like a little metal end to it, like a shovel.
So it's like a metal shovel?
Yes, but it's flat. I would think. But Natalia said, "Oh, look, there's grass."
Yeah.
So she knew that there was even such a long time of not seeing grass.
Somebody asked, what happened to Kate in the morning? William, Katie had
a baby.
Yeah, Katie had a baby. Katie has been out on maternity leave for a couple weeks now, maybe a month.
She had him at the end of January. So, yes, she's out just snuggling a baby.
Being a mama. Yep.
Yeah. So she'll be back.
I shouldn't have laughed because it's a tool, but do you see the comment? But William said, it's like a hoe, which is a tool. But when I saw the comment, I chuckled, which probably speaks to my immaturity. But that's totally okay. Somebody did ask, though, Mark, what's the weather outlook for March? Is there a way of knowing, hey, this is going to be a mild March, or it's going to be bad, or how do you figure that out?
At least the 10-day outlook, so that takes us into that first full week of March, is average.
Okay.
And average is about 38 degrees.
Average, that's a win.
So
I'll take 38
it's not
degrees.
below average, but then it's also above average with precipitation. So expect more of this kind of rain and snow and lots of fun.
Yeah, that's the perfect time. I think March is the perfect time to get away if you have the ability to. It's a little bit tricky for me, but I do think that March is the ideal way of traveling if you want to go somewhere warm. And my reasoning behind that is because if you leave, when you come back, you're that much closer to getting nice weather here. So it's almost like you escape for a little while. And then if you come back and it's the middle of March or the end of March, now you're only a couple weeks away from nice weather, as opposed to, months away.
Or you can even, God bless you.
Sorry.
or it's, you might be able to get back when we're in a warm scenario. So we can get 70s and a huge warm up in March, but it's not looking likely this year.
So we'll talk about this TikTok trend coming up on the other, other segment, just because that is so crazy to me. Did you see they're making a Shrek 5? That's on the list too.
I did not, but I did just read that.
Shrek is
So,
Do you care about Shrek?
yes.
Okay,
Yeah, Shrek is fun.
Shrek is like our wheelhouse
Yeah, I mean, it's a newer, it's newer to me.
Sure.
But,
Shrek
yeah.
to me, legitimately, the day of my wedding, I watched Shrek 2 with my buddies. Not like intentionally, but we were at my parents' house. We were getting ready. My wife was at her parents' house getting ready, and Shrek 2 was on TBS or TNT or one of them. And I mean, you want to talk about some late 20-year-old guys who are just
Yeah.
ripping Shrek 2, having mimosas and bagels. It does not get much better.
Yeah,
Shrek
you just
is
left it on. You're
Shrek
like,
is
yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
That's one of those movies I can just continue to rewatch. The one thing I'll say though, Peter says I'm seeing Shrek the musical in a couple weeks. I have not seen Shrek the musical. The one thing that I'll say is I saw the trailer online, not about this whole animation thing. They made it look too nice. It doesn't look like the other Shreks. It
Oh,
looks a little
it's got
newer.
a different, yeah,
And I'm not about
different
that.
amount of technology in it.
I want my ogres to look like they did when I remember my ogres.
Oh, so they, yeah.
And then Zendaya is in them. Zendaya is, I believe, the daughter of Shrek and Fiona.
Oh, how fun.
You see, we're different here. You're like, oh, how fun. I'm like, yeah, in theory, but I don't want it to look like it does. Like, I don't know. It's
I
hard
don't
to.
know what it looks like. I gotta look
Yes,
this up.
Anita. Yes, Eddie Murphy is back. It's Mike Myers. It's Cameron Diaz. It's Eddie Murphy. It's all the people you would expect, and then Zendaya plays their daughter, which sounds cool. Peter, Shrek, bagels, mimosas. Now you're talking my language, Matt. There is nothing more. Have you ever seen the Vine or the clip of what's better than this? Guys being dudes. You ever seen that clip? I think about that all the, it's a guy,
No.
probably like a 60-year-old man in a football stadium, and there's a football game behind him, and he just goes, "What's better than this?
Oh.
Guys being dudes." And I feel like that is exactly what Shrek bagels and mimosas is. Guys being dudes.
I guess, I suppose. I don't know. I didn't look too new to me.
Yeah.
That little snippet that I just saw.
No, it bothers me. All right,
Okay.
we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. Zendaya is very tall. We do not know. We do not want 70s in March, as it will cause bad things to happen to crops and fruit trees. That's totally fair.
Yeah. We want it to be average. You know, like we want everything to just be, you know, a normal, steady. You got this rise in temperatures, the snow tapers off, we
Yeah.
get into spring. Yes. But secretly,
Yeah.
you do want it because you also don't want it really warm because I mean we love to do maple weekends and you don't want like
What's
really
maple?
huge.
What is a maple
So
weekend?
there's 2 weekends in March. That's when the maple runs in all of our maple trees in
Okay.
Western New York.
Sure.
So they want like kind of warm days, average, you know, you go above freezing during the day, stay nice and cold at night. So you're
Yeah.
not like having these trees running all the time.
Yeah.
And that gives it a good outcome, I think. Because we've gone enough times
Yeah.
to go to these sugar shacks and to talk to them and
Yeah.
and all of that. So we love doing that. And you get your pancakes with maple syrup and
Yeah.
you know, all that
What's
stuff.
the great place in Olean? The big restaurant. They've got all the maple syrup. Why am I
Starts with an
bl-
S.
Sprague's.
Sprague's.
Sprague's. We went to Sprague's last year. It was my first time. I had some
Oh,
friends who went to
so
St.
fun.
Bonaventure. It was awesome. It was
It's a
so
fun drive.
yeah.
I mean, it's a night, you know,
I'm
if you're
not-
you don't like Sunday drives or whatever. I
No.
like Sunday drives.
No,
Oh,
I'm not.
yeah.
I'm not a drive person at all. I don't like the idea of
we
road
always did
trips.
that as
I
a
don't like
kid.
long drive. We did too, which is probably why.
Probably why.
Which is probably why I don't like it. That's fine to me. Anything more than an hour
Mm-hmm.
is hard. I start to get really bored. I start to get a little bit fed up. I would prefer to be driving. In that instance, I was a
Okay.
passenger, so I was just sitting. I'm just like leaning my head against the window.
Yeah,
I
fall
c-
asleep.
I
don't
can't.
know.
I can't do love maple weekends. Love maple always. I just can't do long drives. It's not something like Dom Tibbetts right now. He went to Indianapolis to cover the NFL Combine. He was there for several days. He had a lot of equipment to bring, so it just made more sense for him to drive than it did to fly.
Oh,
So
boy.
he's driving back from Indy as we speak. He got on the road, I think, around 11. Indy is about 8 hours. To me, that would be a
And
tough drive.
doing that alone is a tough drive.
Doing that's when you call everybody you've ever met and just
Yeah.
catch up with people.
Or, you know, the new thing, which wasn't the case like when I was younger, you have like the audiobooks. And audiobooks are kind of like podcasts where you can just I think you engage your brain more so
Sure.
you get less tired.
Yeah. 6 hours is all the drive I can do one way. All right, you can take us back.
Okay. Well, welcome back. We were talking in the break with all of our viewers
Yeah.
on social media. I mean, of course, we go every which way,
To
but
me, an 8-hour drive is a life sentence, Peter. I totally agree. Anything
were
more than
talking
6, I'm like, no way.
about kind of just, well, it actually started with Maple Weekend and
Anita
how far
agrees.
we would go for that. And then it turned into road trips and how far you could do in kind of one sitting or with just one driver.
Dee Dee drove 17 hours to Missouri.
Well, I mean, when
That
you
is
got,
dedication.
we drove to Florida once, pretty much, yeah, I think we did it straight through and we got there in about 17 hours.
That's
Yeah, we ended up in a parking lot on the ocean and just sat there and slept for a couple of hours before we can get into our house.
yeah. So, do you see this thing? How often do you change your socks? This is a TikTok
Right. So this
trend.
is a TikTok trend, which I did not see,
feel like
but
it's
this
like
was one that's come up. Yeah.
Never ask somebody a woman their age, you know, how often
Okay.
they change their socks. I don't. What is normal?
I would think every day
Yeah.
is, I mean, maybe twice a day. I go to the gym, I'll change my socks
Yeah.
from there.
I feel like I wear a pair of socks a day, and if I do something physical, then I would change my socks after I shower.
Right.
So I guess I would wear. Here's my thing. If I'm showering, I'm always wearing a different pair of socks,
Right.
and I feel like that's normal. I don't know why this is a trend that people are talking about.
I know.
I mean, socks are expensive. I lose socks all the time. I can't really ever keep track of where they are. I've got the mismatched one. I mean, Howard clean socks. Yeah, obviously.
I don't see how that's not a daily thing.
Yeah. Do you know I have a weird trait. This is TMI. I change my socks every day. No, it's not TMI. I have a very weird thing. I
Okay.
hate. Why did we switch to the one shot as I'm about to say something weird? Like this puts me like I'm completely on blast. I despise being barefoot. Absolutely. I can't be barefoot. It is to me the most uncomfortable thing. I have no idea how to explain it or what it is, but just my bare feet.
Like not even in your house.
No.
What about sleeping?
No.
You have to have socks on while you sleep.
I have to have
Oh.
socks. I don't think I have.
There's no way.
Really?
No, not when I sleep.
I don't think there is any way I could fall asleep barefoot. Ever.
Wow.
Ever. I need to have socks on.
That is something.
I would rather have slippers on with no socks if I needed to than be barefoot.
I would feel like heat cannot escape my body if I had socks on. Now, I'll tell you something.
Yeah.
Now, you can't be barefoot. Well, I guess you wouldn't be walking on grass either, but I will not walk on grass barefoot.
Really?
Nope, don't like it.
Why?
Well, I don't like the feeling of it, first of all. I think there are like areas of grass that can hurt. There are bees in there that can sting you, which had happened twice to me
Okay.
when I was younger.
Sure.
But my mom told me when I was a baby and she would go to set me down on the grass, like my legs would go up. And I've just been that way ever since.
Okay.
I don't like walking on grass.
I don't like it, but I will do
Barefoot.
it. There are very few times when if I'm outside, sand is one thing. Being barefoot in sand is not something that I seek. Some people are like, "Oh, I love to feel my feet in the sand." I was like, "I've never felt that in my life. It's uncomfortable. The sand gets in between my toes. I don't like it." And then I got to wash them off.
Yeah.
And then when you wash them off, your feet are still wet, and then you put your shoes on. Like I'm not about that. Grass though I can handle. But when I'm outside, honestly, Mercedes got me the Crocs for Christmas. That is how I've taken out Harper the dog every single day since I got those Crocs. Or in flip-flops, but just barefoot for me is just something that I do not like that feeling.
Interesting.
Yeah, I know. It's a weird trait.
I mean, I think it's not weird until
No, it is. I mean, I'm looking at the comments.
I was gonna say it's
very-
not weird
it's
until
weird.
you have to sleep with socks
Yeah,
on.
somebody said like, "Oh, that's very cringy, Matt. Your feet would be sweating like crazy." I've been told it's like a like a serial killer trait. Like,
Oh my
you know what I
gosh.
mean? It's like, "Oh yeah, that's not good." I don't love that.
Yeah, no, I like to be grounded. I just if my backyard was, like a 3-course like a golfing range or
Sure.
something where you got putt level grass and it's beautiful and
Then you would be
there's
comfortable.
nothing spiky or anything that's going to hurt you like walking on grass,
Mm-hmm.
then maybe I would do it.
Yeah.
But
What's your like ideal? So we were talking about are you a beach person?
yes, I mean I like kind of doing everything.
Mm-hmm.
The beach can get a little much because sand gets everywhere.
Yeah.
But I do like to chill out on a beach. I love to like do sand castles and things like that and look for seashells and like that is very zen to me.
I would think at the mansion you would have turf grass autumn. Yeah.
No, I mean you've heard me just talk about my grass. There's things that hurt you in there.
Ooh,
My grass is not.
I think I need to schedule a pedicure right now. I've never had that sounds a cringe down my spine. The idea of a pedicure. Oh, somebody touching my feet. I don't like that.
Let them have at it.
No, really?
Oh yeah.
Do you do massages? Do you no. No. My wife does too. She's like, oh, I love a good massage. It feels so good. It's like,
Yeah.
I do not want anybody touching me. It's just to me, like, I don't know, like it gives me the
You
heebie-jeebies.
you got
thinking
you got to
about that
let
stuff.
someone do it, and then you'll think differently. Massages are fantastic.
What's that thing where they put the needles in you? Acupuncture?
Yes.
Yeah, that no.
I've done acupuncture.
Yeah,
It's okay.
really?
Yeah.
Did what was the? Is it just like a different type of a massage?
It's supposed to do different things to you. It could help with blood flow and just a bunch of stuff. It depends on what you're looking for, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't love the idea of somebody like that I don't know pressing into my back. You know what I have though? I have one of those Theraguns. You got one of those? Oh,
I
that's
do.
super nice.
Yeah.
I'll just sit there if I've had a long day and just kind
It's
of.
but okay, does your wife, you can do it to yourself, but if your wife puts it in your back, doesn't it feel better when someone else is doing
Yeah,
it?
and she always asks me, "Can you do my back? Can you do
Yeah.
my back?" And I'm like, "No, this is now you're
This is
taking
not
me
what I
away
got it
from
for."
what I'm trying to do. I just sit there and hammer my thighs or like my
Yeah.
feet or something." She's like, "Oh, can you do my back? Whatever." All right, we'll take a quick break. Gail makes me think of you covering Mac Hollins barefoot wherever he can be. You know, remember that Mac Hollins, he plays for the Bills.
Yeah.
He's barefoot everywhere. He doesn't walk in shoes. He calls them foot prisons shoes. So yes, it's
I get it.
It's funny. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like to have shoes off, but like concrete is just, I don't know, my feet are sensitive.
No, that's
So,
that's
like I can't walk to the edge of the driveway because it has like the little stones and stuff. Like it hurts my foot, but my
Yeah.
husband can go out there. I'm like, oh my God, what are you,
Yeah.
Fred Flintstone?
Do you
Like,
ever-
how does this not hurt you?
Did Natalia ever get into Legos?
Yes.
Have you ever stepped on a Lego?
I mean, I've stepped on plenty of things that have hurt my foot from my kid.
That's an all-time like pain.
Yeah.
Stepping on a Lego, especially if you're barefoot or you're in socks, is one of those things that you will not do again
Yeah.
unless it's completely an accident.
Yep. No, there's been many things that have hurt my feet from kids' toys.
No, Lori, Sports Matt. Have you seen? Are you saying Sports Matt? Like that's my nickname, Sports Matt. Hey, Sports Guy Matt. Have you seen the Buffalo Extreme basketball team? I have not, and I do not know what that is. So please fill me in on what's going on here. Winter grass here is the worst crabgrass you could ever feel. I agree. No barefoot
I know.
outside. Yeah, that said, Florida sounds so nice right now, just for warm weather. I sleep in socks and can't sleep without socks. Thank you, Kelly, because some people in these comments think that I'm nuts. So I'm glad that I have another person who is on my side with this.
I mean, I don't think you're nuts.
Thank you. I appreciate it. How's Mercedes? I think Mercedes is doing pretty good. She comes back tomorrow. Mercedes, yes,
Yeah,
Mercedes
we'll
coming
have
back
her
tomorrow. Yeah, she comes back tomorrow. Hello, everyone. Hi, Connie. How are you? Thanks for
Hi,
joining us today.
Connie.
So, yeah, I want to go somewhere warm. With the NFL owners meetings are at the end of the month, so I might try and shoot down to Florida for those for a couple days. It's a nice thing to
Where is it in Florida?
West Palm Beach.
Oh,
you
how
should you
nice.
should see the hotel that they do these owners meetings at.
Oh, I could only imagine.
wanna talk-
They're NFL owners.
you
One
wanna-
of them probably owns it.
You want to talk about cash, like how much money this league has. I remember once,
I don't even want to think about it because it makes me angry.
I remember once they have a big party for the owners, for the staff of the teams, and the media covering the event. And I won't say who I asked this to, but I asked someone. I was like, "How much does a party like this cost?" Like what is?
Oh, millions.
And they were like, "Probably $1 million one night, just like one random night. Probably like $1 million." I'm like, $1 million? I was just like, "This is nuts," because they don't.
Hold back.
Somebody said you should both bring your daughter to the Studio 7 day.
We wouldn't have normal functioning conversations.
No, no, we would not.
Or maybe they'd take over.
Would
They'd be
definitely-
doing all the talking.
They would definitely take over.
Welcome back.
Somebody said, "Is Elon Musk really a Bills fan?"
I don't know.
I don't believe so. I don't believe so. I feel like I would know
Was
if he was a
that-
Bills fan.
is
That's one
that
of those things that's on Facebook that is
Something somebody's
Yeah,
asking, or
but-
like it's out there. I don't
but
know.
I don't think it was. I read that his grandma was from Buffalo. Isn't he not from the
Yeah,
United
I don't think
States?
he's American.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think he's American.
Or I mean, maybe he is now, but he
Okay.
didn't.
Lori says they have been playing here for 2 years. West Seneca, Harlem, and Mineral Springs, semi-pro. I believe they are undefeated still. Check them out. All right, Lori, thanks for putting it on my radar. I appreciate that.
Extreme.
I think they're just
basketball-
called. Yeah, they're just
basketball?
called the. I don't think there's any different rules than
Oh.
probably like regular basketball or whatever. But yeah, no, I got to check it out. We're at the point of the year now where there is a little bit more free time. There's a little bit more flexibility as far as sports are concerned. It's a
Yeah.
little bit of a quiet period.
There's less free time in the weather department.
Yeah, I was
right
gonna
now.
say it's funny. We almost have opposite
Yeah.
busy seasons.
You
I'm
would
very
think.
busy from July until January. You were very busy probably from what, December until July? Well, not
Pretty
July. It's
much.
nice
I
in
mean, because then
July.
you can have severe storms with tornadoes and like going into the summer.
Mhm.
So yeah, there's always something that can keep you on your toes.
I saw a video on Instagram the other day that said the perfect climate to live in is the Great Lakes. Ever hear people say that?
I have not, but I mean, I could see why. I
They're
mean,
like no hurricanes, less natural
Yeah.
disasters.
no alligators, no
No
what's the-
alligator. Yeah, no
what's the
alligators. no-
real?
yeah, exactly. But there's weather. Anita says weather is never not busy. You're absolutely right about that.
Yeah, it's crazy. But I mean, you think about it. I've had people come and visit, and we would ride along Lake Erie, and they'll go,
Mhm.
"Well, that's a lake."
Mhm.
They think it's something that you could see the other side of. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, it's huge.
Yeah, well, and I think that was the other thing that I saw on the reel too, that there's so many parts of the country that are fearful of droughts or potentially running out of fresh water resources.
Yeah.
And when you're by the Great Lakes, I mean, we are right by 2 Great Lakes. We deal with
We've
snow,
got great fresh water.
but we
Yeah.
have so much fresh water. I don't think I could live somewhere where there isn't water nearby. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
kind of like
a
landlocked where you're just,
uh-huh.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like
you
every-
have to travel far to get to
Sure.
some body of
Like
water.
some sort of significant body of water.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. To me, that would just always be weird. Maybe it's just because this is where I'm from. So you're used to it. You're used to the Niagara River. You're used to Lake Ontario. You're used to
Right.
Lake Erie. And if that's something that you do in the summer that you can really go out and spend time, I just really like being around water, apparently.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it's ingrained in us. When innovation and technology came around,
Mhm.
okay, yes, now we're building cities where you're not near water, but that's where
Mhm.
congregations of people always colonized
Mhm.
was around water. You need water.
Yeah. Peter says, I hear Buffalo is a nice place to live because where else can we get a great news team like WKBW? Aw, this should be on a promo. Thanks, Peter. If you guys always want to comment things like that, that'd be great.
I
we,
know.
we don't always get those types of
I
comments, so
know.
that's very nice.
We've gotten nice comments. This is great.
Lori says Matt tickets are cheap, usually $15. Lori, I'll tell you this: I wouldn't be buying a ticket. I would be going for work. I would
For
not
what?
be the basketball team she
Oh.
was talking about. I don't know when the last time I bought a ticket was actually for a sporting event.
Well, because
You go to cover them,
right.
so I'm going
So
for
have
work.
you? Yeah. Have you ever?
Oh, definitely.
Are
I
you-
just can't think of when it was.
Yeah.
It makes it interesting because now you don't, when you're not working, you try and not go to sporting events a ton.
Mm-hmm.
You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
because you're
So,
always at them.
Yeah, that, you know what I mean? It would
Yeah,
be like,
yeah.
oh, yeah, it's not something that the arena or this area is the nation's best kept secret. Yes,
Well, then,
I truly do
Let's not
agree.
say
But
that.
well, do you see the wall, Keep Buffalo a Secret? You know, that mural that people
Oh,
take
right.
the pictures out
Yeah.
in front of? So yeah, I agree. What did somebody ask me here?
I don't know.
Why
I
don't you
missing?
have the date of the week on the weather board? It's a Robert question.
The date,
The
Of
date
the
of the week.
like on the 7-day?
Maybe? Probably just wouldn't fit, right?
Oh, on each day?
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
I was going to say it probably doesn't fit. I've never seen that. Channel 7
Hmm.
has the best news staff ever. Thank you. I think we qualify. I'm sports, your weather. So we're not news. I was
I
going to say,
know.
they're
We're not
probably,
very
Cheryl's
newsy,
probably
but-
talking about everybody else and not us right now. Yeah, Lori, it's great to have four seasons, even if some are extreme. If you could give me a place, I've said on the show before, I want to be a snowbird. I'm not shying away from that. I want to leave here
Yes.
the day after New Year's Day, and I want to come back in late April, early May. That's my ideal life
I would like to be a snowbird
down
too.
the road.
Yeah.
But I will say, if I was just living here year round, like I am right now, if you knew that you were going to get 3 or 4 bad months, I would deal with it. It's the lingering that bothers me. It's the,
Right.
okay, we've made it to April and now there's a snowstorm. Or it's like, okay, we're in November and all of a sudden there's this massive snowstorm. If I knew December, January, February, and March were going to stink, as I would put it, I'd be like, okay, like that's fine. As long as you know on April
Yeah.
1st it was, hey, you're good to go.
Nope. It's not the case. You could still get some decent amount of snow in April.
Uh-huh.
And of course, we had the October storm. So
Yeah.
we can
oh my-
have
oh
some
my
crazy
gosh, I
storms
remember
as
that.
early as October.
I remember that. When does it usually start to? For me, once we get to 40 degrees on an average basis, that's when I feel like we've kind of made it out of the woods. When does that usually start to happen?
It will happen in March.
Uh-huh.
Something that I also had put out today. So a lot of people, there's debate on whether or not we want to do the time change and spring forward and all that. But 10 days from today, the sun will be setting after 7 p.m.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
I mean, it's darker earlier. You got to take the good with the bad
Sure.
with that. But in 10 days, it will set after 7 p.m.
When I used to work the morning show, I absolutely adored when it would be dark early because if you're trying to fall asleep at 6:45,
Right.
7 o'clock, you want it to be dark.
Yeah.
But
like
now,
you're not missing
now
out.
that I'm not, it's like let's actually
When I
leave.
work late, I'm like, oh,
let's
there's
leave
still
work and
day.
actually be able to see the sun, which is kind of nice. All right, we have to say goodbye. Thank you for joining us today. Mercedes will be back tomorrow. That is
Yeah,
Autumn
we'll see you tomorrow.
Lewandowski. I am Matt Bove. Happy Fake Friday. We'll see you on Real Friday tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day.